Okay, yo, what are you saying? Welcome back to ISOJ. The NBA regular season has now concluded. We are here at the finish line for a lot of the teams in the league because, it's tough. So let's look forward to the postseason. Let's look forward to the playoffs. I'm going to be doing this in two parts. This video right now is purely going to be about the play-in game because I feel like, I can talk about the 3-6 matchup or I could talk about the 4-5 matchup, but I think I'd rather do that in one full video as opposed to giving you a huge 30-minute episode. Be wary, there is going to be a lot of content on ISOJ through the playoffs. Even in the off season, we're going to figure out something to do. But for now, today, let's focus on the play-ins because there is one side of the bracket that is kind of useless, and there's one side of the bracket that is a little bit more exciting. And let's get the fluff out the way, right? The Hawks and the Magic, the Bulls and the Heat. Out east, I think it's really tough to be a play-in team there because realistically, you're going to run into those two juggernauts out east and you're going to look at yourself and think, well, this is pointless, because it kind of is. You win your matchup, okay, cool, you're the 7th seed, you're the 8th seed, you got to face the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers, neither of which is a good matchup. Yes, okay, fine, playoff experience is still playoff experience, especially for a young team like the Magic or like the Hawks to an extent, right? They have a lot of young guys, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, a lot of young guys, also a lot of alliteration. Fun team. That is to say, it's just you're cannon fodder. You're being fed into the meat grinder of two of the best teams in the league. It is what it is. If you're asking me, my personal prediction, I think the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks end up getting through. I don't think the Bulls or the Heat are at the point where they can make some noise. The Heat could do it. I'm not going to be the first person to count out an Eric Spoelstra-led team. But also, if we got to look at it objectively, I don't think either of those teams are going to do damage against the Celtics or the Cavaliers. I could be wrong. So the matchups are Orlando versus Atlanta. I think Orlando take this one. Yes, they don't have the shooting, but they have a lot of offensive firepower outside of that. Franz is still Franz. Paolo is doing great things. Jalen Suggs, all good contributing players. Can the Hawks stop it? Yes. And I think the Hawks, much like the Warriors, and I'm not trying to just say these two are the same. I can't count Trae Young out of a best of one because that's what they are, right? No matter how much you think these matches are won on paper, this isn't a series. This is the best of one. This is 48 minutes to decide if your team goes into the playoffs. So I think in the same vein, you can't count Steph Curry out. I also think you can't count Trae Young out. It is fair to say the Hawks might have the best player in this series. Dyson Daniels can't stop everyone. Jalen Johnson can't stop everyone. Onyeka Okongwu cannot stop everyone. There's a lot of alliteration on this team. And so I feel like they will be tested. Do I think with the Bulls and the Heat, I think the Bulls, for a best of one, I think that's where the strength of a good coach like Eric Spoelstra is, where you are good enough to theory craft a 7-game series, but I'm sure he has something ready and waiting for this one. And he knows exactly what to do with this lineup and how to make this team look better than they are. I think if the Heat make it through, the Heat will always have a better shot because of Coach Spo. Regardless of who they have on the team, Spo will find a way to take a game off the Celtics or make it a long series. He's not going to win. It's an exercise in futility. I feel like Joe Mazzulla saying that. Anyway, let's get on to the Western Conference because the Western Conference is a lot more interesting to look at. But let's start small. The Sacramento Kings face the Dallas Mavericks in what should have been them. They can't win a game to save their lives. Anyway, I digress. This is going to be an interesting matchup, but also not. The thing is with this, I can't really lie to myself and say, I'm looking forward to this because I kind of don't care. The winner, hey, cool, you get the right to face another team for the right to lose in the first round to OKC. I think the Kings have fallen off a lot, and their roster right now doesn't fill me with hope. The Mavericks, however, they're in a tougher spot because of the Luka trade and everything and the fallout from all of that. A lot of their team got injured shortly after. Would they be this deep in a hole if they didn't trade Luka? Maybe. Maybe those injuries were just going to happen anyway, and then the carry job of Luka can still guide them to getting out of the play-in. right? With AD missing time, without Kyrie, with a lot of their core starters out, it's been a rough run for Dallas. And I feel like it continues again in this series. Again, like I said before, is best of ones. It could go either way. Anthony Davis could have a monster night. Klay Thompson could wake up and think he's in Golden State. For all I know, like, Sacramento's not that far from the Bay. Stranger things have happened. I think this is going to be a Sacramento win. I just don't think the Mavs have it in them. I think for them, it's, all right, cool. Guys, pack it up. It's fine. We're injured. One of our two best players is not available. It is what it is, man. Unfortunate for them, the injuries and losing Luka Doncic have really messed up their plans and season. Why, Nico? Probably the most exciting game of the play-ins. The Golden State Warriors versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, Golden State, before yesterday, were the 4th seed. So they were pretty good to be like, okay, cool. We don't have to be in the play-ins, right? Turns out, no, it doesn't happen like that. Golden State lose in a kind of a banger game last night against the LA Clippers, who now have their place as the 4th seed or 5th seed. I forget which one. One of the two. An overtime game, back and forth. Kawhi takes the lead. James Harden is somehow unstoppable and is blowing past everyone. Draymond Green misses the go-ahead bucket, or maybe the bucket tie the game. Either way, not great for them. And now, because of the Timberwolves winning, they have dropped all the way down to the 7th seed and are in the play-ins. Do I think the Memphis Grizzlies have what it takes? These aren't the Young Bucks we saw a couple years ago when the Warriors won their title. This isn't the team that beat them in the play-ins. These guys have experience. They're older now. They're smarter. Their team around them is better. You know, it's not the case of these are just the young rookie upstarts. I think out west, it's these two who are going to be 7 and 8. I don't think Sacramento has a chance to beat the Grizzlies. Again, best of ones. I could be completely wrong, but on paper, I put the Grizzlies in the playoffs already. These two teams are 7 and 8. How do I think this plays out? I think the Warriors do pull this one out. I think they have enough firepower. They can go toe to toe with anyone. Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. You do not discount Steph Curry. You do not bet against him. You don't even think about it. All right. The Grizzlies are good. Does losing their coach impact how they play? Maybe. You know, you can make a case, but at the end of the day, the players are the ones out there doing their job, and I think they won't beat the Warriors, but I do think they'll beat the next team, which leads them into round 1 of the playoffs. So hey, maybe we'll do another video later down the line. That's just what I think going into it. This is very first take reactionary. I'm going to do a lot of research because I have been not great at watching NBA games. I'll keep it a buck. I enjoy my sleep just a little bit too much. But this week, it's a lot of research. It's a lot of looking at these teams, figuring out how they play, wondering, hey, what team could advance? This is, in the West especially, this is anyone's year. Any team could do it. If you were a time traveler and you told me the Clippers won the 2025 NBA championships, hey, I'd believe you. Okay, cool. How'd they do it? Damn, Kawhi did this. He turned back the clock. Well, he's got a GOAT case building up. Like, anything could be possible. Does Jokic carry the Nuggets all the way to the finals and win the whole damn thing? Yeah, 1 billion% that could happen. Do OKC go on and do it all? Do the young core lead them to victory this early? Do they do what KD, Russ, and James Harden couldn't? Who knows, you know? It's anyone's trophy to grab. At the end of it, the Larry O'Brien could be anywhere, unless you're Phoenix. Yeah, I think that's it. I've ranted way too much about this. We will do some research. We will come back. There's a lot of content coming up over the next couple weeks. The playoffs are here. Let me know in the comments down below who you think are going to be the winners of these play-in series. Who gets the 7th and 8th seed? Who do you think wins the whole damn thing? Hey, here, place your bets down below. I won't pay out. No chance of that. But, you know, it'll be cool to, you know, in 3 months, you go back on this video for some reason. It's very dated. Like, you don't go back to a video like this and be like, oh yeah, the 2025 NBA playoffs. Oh, ISOJ hoops. Regardless, you know, show some love down in the comment section. If you like the video, go ahead and leave it a like. If you like it that little bit more, a subscription goes a long way. We are so close to, you know, they're not major milestones, obviously, but we're close to 100 here on YouTube. We're close to 100 on TikTok. If you could go and do that, that would be lovely. Hope you have a nice day. I hope wherever you are, it's sunny. I hope your days aren't full of rain like mine are. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.